Today we are going to learn some common English words that you can use to talk about walking. When you lift one foot and put it on the ground in front of you, that is called a step. In this case, the word step is a noun, and the verb that we use it with is take. For example, I have taken 8,000 steps today. But step can also be a verb. For example, you are very close. Please step back. And you might sometimes hear people use the word tread. To tread means the same thing as to step, but it's less common and it's not used in all the same situations. We also have the word gait, which is a noun. Someone's gait is the way that they move their arms and legs when they walk. A person might have a casual gait, a confident gait, a beautiful gait, or an unusual gait. For example, his gait was smooth and confident as he walked across the room. Now we're going to look at some different types of walking. But first, there is one word that is going to help us understand these better, and that word is pace. When talking about walking, pace basically means speed, but it is a speed that you maintain or continue for a period of time. Maybe you've heard the expression to pick up the pace. To pick up the pace means to increase the speed at which you are doing something. So if your boss asks you to pick up the pace, they are telling you that you need to work faster. And now here are some common types of walking. First, we have to stroll. To stroll means to walk at a leisurely pace. This means that you probably look and feel comfortable with the speed that you are walking. Usually, I would just say walk, but stroll can make it sound a bit more casual or a bit more relaxing. For example, I strolled around downtown for an hour while waiting for my appointment. You can also use it as a noun. For example, I went for a stroll around my neighborhood. Then we have to saunter. Sauntering is very similar to strolling. However, strolling can sometimes be done with a lot of energy, whereas the word saunter always focuses on the fact that you are moving slowly. And just like stroll, it can also be a noun. For example, he went for a short saunter after dinner. But honestly, most of the time I would just say go for a walk, or maybe go for a stroll. Then we have hiking and trekking. Both of these words describe walking long distances, usually in the woods or in the countryside. The main difference is just that trekking is a bit more serious or a bit more difficult. For example, a hike could be 2 hours of walking on a path through the woods. Trekking, however, describes multiple days of walking, and there sometimes might not even be a path. And this is just a very simple explanation, because this is a video for English learners, not a video for hikers and trekkers. The main thing to understand here is just that a trek is longer and more serious than a hike. And just like the other words, these two can be used both as nouns and as verbs. So if you want to invite someone to go hiking with you, you could ask either, would you like to go hiking with me? Or, would you like to go on a hike with me? Both of those are correct. When soldiers or other groups of people walk together with the same pace and the same gait, this is called marching. For example, the soldiers marched 15 miles to their destination. Finally, we have walk around, wander, and meander. To walk around just means that you are walking without a specific destination. For example, in his free time, he likes to go to the mall and just walk around. Wander is basically the same as walk around, but to me it just sounds a bit more interesting, like you've never been to this place before. You might get lost, or you might discover something interesting. For example, we spent the day wandering around the zoo and learning about the various animals. Meander means basically the same thing, but it focuses more on the idea that you are moving slowly and not moving in a straight path. You are probably turning and changing directions very often. For example, she meandered around the countryside for several hours before arriving at the farm. So yeah, those are just some of the most common words that we use to talk about walking. There are plenty of other words that you could also use, but these are the ones that I thought would be the most useful to you as English learners. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching.